color kids, this is Katie Carty-Hiley from RainbowBrite.net. Welcome back to the Rainbow Land Museum. And as I promised in my live stream, I'm going to be doing deep dive reviews of all the new Rainbow Brite products that Hallmark just put out a few days ago. They started showing up in stores. We did not know any of these things were coming, so it was like, what? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of the Rainbow Brite fans. Because, yeah, it's like 7, 8, it's several new products. Some of them are kind of in groups of like just different characters of the same thing, so I don't have to do 8 different videos, but I've got to do at least 3 or 4. So, yeah, you don't want me to combine all of them into one, or it would be like movie length. Let's not go there. And the reason you see all these vintage dolls on my bed is because I'm also going to do some history lessons, some comparisons, that I think you'll find interesting. And I know I've already done one on Puppy Brite, but I'm going to do another one because I've found out some interesting stuff since the last one that was not included then. So I'll throw it in now, because the first item I'm going to be talking about is the brand new Puppy Brite from Hallmark. He's so cute and fluffy and I love him. He is so super soft. I think this material is just like the large Twink and Delight sprites that they've put out that you could just pet all day long and you want a pillow made of it, because it's great. So, I'm getting my hair color on him. So I'll just show you about him first and then I'll compare him to the other Puppy Brites that we've gotten in the past. So here he is. He's fantastic. What can I say? His stars are kind of on antenna on this version, which I think is actually smart because it makes it stick up above the fur really well. And you can hide them if you just pull the fur up a little bit, then all you see is the stars. But it makes them stick up really well. On some of the other products, the antennae have not been very stiff, so the stars are kind of floppy, but not on him. They just stick straight up. They're great. He's got a blue nose, as he should, and it's hard plastic underneath fabric, but it's not just a hard plastic nose, which is good. Again, I'll compare to the old and tell you why in a moment. But you can see his little stitched mouth, which is adorable. His embroidered eyes. He's got beautiful blue eyes. And then we've got his outfit, for lack of a better term, which is cool. And I have a couple small complaints about it, but really it's no big deal. And actually, let me get to that last. I'll do the rest and then I'll come back to his clothes, his shirt, whatever you want to call it. This is his cute little tail. It's fluffy and it's bouncy and I love it. It's got both of the newer tush tags, the silver one and the regular one. He was produced in October of 2017. He is $14.95 and his tag has the facebook.com/rainbowbrite link on it, which is excellent because that's where they're doing all of the reveals or news items, although they did not reveal or tell us that he or any of the other items I'm going to be reviewing in my subsequent videos were coming. We had no idea. All of a sudden the other day, one of the local Hallmark store managers that I know messaged me and was like, hey, guess what I just got in? And showed me a picture of all this Rainbow Brite stuff and I was like, what? So I immediately, made the trek actually to a different Hallmark because she's further away, but the other one had gotten it too. Thankfully there are at least 2 stores in my area that typically when new stuff comes out they get it immediately. I'm just lucky because a lot of stores don't have these yet. I know from other fans who have been calling their local stores that they haven't made it everywhere, but they should very soon, I feel certain. And they're not on the website yet, so you can't order them online. And the other sad thing was they only got one of each of all of these items that I'm going to be reviewing. So, like, when I bought them, the manager was like, okay, I'm immediately going to go back and place another order for more to restock what I just took away from their store. It's like, I'm sorry, but I really, really need them and have to have them immediately, please. So yeah, hopefully more in the future, more will start coming, so it's not just one per store. Because at the same time, I couldn't choose between different ones or compare different ones because they only had one of each. So I may come back in a future video and be like, hey, guess what? This thing I thought about whatever doll, I was wrong because this other one's different. We'll see. So let me get into his outfit, because that's the thing really that I think is possibly going to vary between dolls, but it might not. The reason I say it might is because in the old ones, it did. The order of the, well, not the order of the colors necessarily, but the way they showed up on the doll, for lack of a better term. And maybe now is just a good time to do a little comparison. So, here, I'll hold up 2 vintage ones, and you can see immediately that the colors are the same colors, and they're in the same order, but they are shifted to the left or to the right or whatever. And these two actually are going, yeah, and as you can see, these are going opposite direction. So it like starts with, or wait, yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused myself. Some of them go like red to purple this way, some go red to purple that way. It's luck of the draw. But yeah, I think you can see it's showing different colors, so it's hard to compare, but these are actually backwards from each other. Actually, yeah, if you look at the back, I think you can tell more easily. Well, yeah, like mirror images on their backs. But anyway, the chest colors vary from doll to doll because the fabric just shifts left to right. And like I just showed you, sometimes it's going left to right, like the colors are going left to right, and sometimes they're going right to left, if you're going like rainbow order wise. So I'm curious if these new dolls are going to be the same way, because on the back, there are more colors than you can see right here on his chest. And there are also more seams on this doll than the old ones. Yeah, on the old dolls, there's only a seam here, and a little one right here that just kind of pulls it together. But it's not actually switching the fabric. But because there are seams here and here, that's like a completely different piece of fabric being used on each side. Whereas this guy has got seams here and here, so this is one piece of fabric. He's got seams on each side, so his whole bottom, or underneath here on his stomach, that's one piece of fabric. But then he's got another stitch right here in the middle of his back, so this is 2 different pieces of fabric. Now it looks like, at least on this one, they tried to line it up so that it's going the same direction down each side. So I imagine the backs will be like that on all of them, but could be wrong. No idea. And as far as where the colors meet on the sides, actually they do line up. It's green above and then red right below. But what's interesting about the entire swatch of fabric, which I'm guessing this is because we don't see any other colors elsewhere on him, it is not in rainbow order. It goes, actually it doesn't go, like orange, yellow, green, and blue are correct, but the red is over here before the blue, and then it goes from blue to red. So yeah, the colors or the order is a little off. We'll just say that. So I'm a little slightly disappointed in that aspect, but he is a smaller doll than the previous ones, so maybe it was just more difficult to fit all the colors on him, and maybe it was just simpler to do it the way they did it. But I can forgive all that because he looks fantastic. He's very screen accurate apart from the colors on his outfit, because I looked on a screenshot from Murky's comment, sorry, just to double check, because I was like, I think he had all the colors on his outfit, but I'm not certain. And in the show, at least in that episode, I need to check other ones, he does not have indigo on his outfit, but he does have all the rest. The violet comes off a little pinkish, but I would say it's violet, but he does have red through, and they're in the right order in the cartoon. So he's a little bit off in that respect, but otherwise, he's pretty much screen accurate. His face is actually more screen accurate than the old ones, because these guys all have plastic faces that are kind of flat, whereas he has a snout, as most dogs do, unless you're a pug, or some other breeds like that. Boston Terriers have a very flat face. Most dogs have snout, so he is more screen accurate in that regard. And I think he's adorable. So let's do some comparisons. Okay, so he is smaller than his 80s counterpart. His head's smaller. He's, actually height-wise, they're about the same. Kind of think of it. But length-wise and otherwise, he's definitely smaller. Let's see if I can line up their feet. Yeah, he's shorter. He's not as long. I think you can see that without me putting them that close together. And let's compare some colors here. So his ears are practically the same. Like the yellow on this is a little brighter. It's more like, yeah, it's more like the body color, which is very close, honestly. This one's just more fluffy, so I think it looks lighter, but it's almost the same color, yellow. But again, screen accurate. That's the way his ears are supposed to be. Blue nose, screen accurate. All of that is great. Purple on top here. This is actually closer to the color of his stars in the show than the old one, which was more of a lavender color. So those are the main differences. And the outfit, like I said. Just this one has purple and indigo. Actually, yeah, this has the full rainbow plus pink. So this has like extra colors in it, whereas this guy is missing some colors, but that's okay. They both have the star, whereas the old one, let me see on this one, yeah, you have to really look, but the star on the old ones are a little bit see-through. You can usually see where, like, the lines between colors, depending on which colors are behind it. Like behind here, I can see the dark blue because it's a darker color. But if there's like yellow behind it, you're probably not gonna notice. Anyway, this guy you can't see through his star. It's thicker material. But those are the main differences. Am I forgetting anything? Like the old one's tail is more just like a ball. Yeah, it's flat actually, but it doesn't look flat because of all the fur on it. Whereas this one's actually kind of longer and sticks straight up. And this one does not. But yeah, those are the main differences between them. But I really do love him. He's really cute. Like, I'm used to this one because it's what I grew up with. Like, my friend had one of these when I was a kid. So I have fond memories of Puppy Brite, and I've been collecting with these guys forever. So, yeah. But I love this one. I actually do. I think he's really well done. I think he's super cute. I think you're going to love him too. So let me do my little history lesson while we're talking about Puppy Brite. And then I'll do, yeah, other videos for the other products and do history lessons about them too. So I've done one of these already in rainbowbrite.net Gazette number 4, which I will link to in this video's description. But there are some differences out there in vintage Puppy Brites, and I just found a new one that I never paid attention, but never noticed. I don't know. Never noticed before, or maybe I did at one point and completely forgot. Also possible, but I did not mention it in my last video. I do not remember knowing it, but I know it now, so here we go. There is one difference I pointed out in my last video about Puppy Brite, and I will point it out again because this is still very interesting to me, and I think this one is super rare. This particular Puppy Brite, and his tush tag has been cut off, so I don't know where he was produced, but every Puppy Brite I've come across, and I've been doing some research online on eBay and Etsy, just looking at other Puppy Brites to confirm that this is as rare as I think it is. And as far as I can tell from images, it is, but they were all made in Korea, it appears. So I don't think it has anything to do with where he was produced. I don't know if this was a sample doll and somebody's just cut the tag off. I don't know, but something's weird about him. The fabric of his outfit is like plasticky. Where can I make it make the noise? Yeah. Yeah, see, you hear that? It's different, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, like, okay, look at the purple here. You know, it looks like there's white something on there. It's just like, as it's been squeezed over the years, it's made little imperfections, I don't know, in the material. Like, you can actually see these little marks, but they're not like marks you would make from something outside the doll. It's just the fabric. That's what it does over time as it's moved around. So I probably should not be squishing it because I'm gonna make more marks, but whatever. But it's a completely different material than any other Puppy Brite I've come across. So I want to know if any of you have a Puppy Brite that has fabric like this. If fabric is even the right word. I guess it is, but it really is plasticky. And like, yeah, like this one, making all the different sounds to compare. See, that sounds like regular fabric, whereas this is just like, yeah, it's very different. So that's one thing to look out for when you're looking for variations of Puppy Brite. And I really am curious who else has one like this because it's driving me crazy. I mean, it's cool that I have him, but I would love to know if he actually is super unique or if it's just more rare or what the deal with him is. I just don't know. So another difference I found or realized, whatever, when I was comparing Puppy Brites today. Because, okay, I had two already. This one, the loose one, this one back here, vintage in the box, and the 2003 one that I'll show you in a second. This one was just gifted to me recently by a fan, and I'm gonna get into that more in a future merch haul because he gifted me more than just this. There was several items that were gifted to the museum, and I'm super thankful for, but it gave me another one to compare to the rest, which I was just like, wait, something seems different about these two. So look at their faces. And it's not just the angle here. I'll angle him up a little bit. So this one has a bigger face than this one. I never noticed that there were different sized faces. This is the more common one, again, which makes him even more unique. I looked on, eBay and Etsy. I think I did come across one or two that were the big face variant, if you want to call it that. But most of them were this, where you can see more of the yellow fur on the side of his face, and the mouth is actually different. If you look at them closely, this one, if I get my finger up there, there's more of a curve coming down from his nose, and I mean, some of it is just a size issue, so it's more compressed, but it's like his smile goes up higher because it's smaller or whatever. It's different. I think you would agree. It's different. And like his tongue is more upward than, I mean, this one's not straight down, but it's just, it's more at an angle. And when measuring the difference in the faces, which I'll tell you in a moment, my husband came up here with his digital caliper to do the honors. He noticed as he was measuring these that this one is a very hard plastic, whereas this one with the smaller face, squishy. Now we've seen that difference before. I'm trying to remember with what. I don't know if it was Sprites or, no, maybe it's some of the Color Kids actually. I think it might be some of the Color Kid dolls. Some have squishy faces, some don't. So again, that's another difference with these two. I don't know why. And the one in the box here, who also has the smaller face, also squishy. So my guess is all the smaller face ones are also the squishy face ones. So I don't know if you want to call them small face or squishy face, but, or maybe just call that one big face or hard face. Stiff face? I don't know. Come up with a funny name for the variant. Because it seems like that one is the unique one. These are the more common. But again, you can see the difference in their outfit color order thing, where it shifted. And I don't know if these are backwards to each other or not. Yeah, these actually are as well. Let's see if you can see from the back. Weird. Or wait, no, these are going the same direction. Or are they? Orange, yeah. This, I can't even tell. My eyes and this camera's not helping. Yeah, they are backwards from each other. It's just hard to tell because they're not lined up exactly the same. Okay, so let me go into this guy and then show you again the one from 2003 so that you can easily spot the differences between the vintage one and this one because they are very, very similar. First of all, the stars on the top of the head, completely different color. These are more fuchsia, like the new one, and they are stitched around the edges. And then the outfit is the other dead giveaway. Well, and the star, although that might be harder to see when, looking at pictures or something online, and it's really hard to see here because he's still in the box. I don't have a loose one from 2003 or I would pull it out. But you can see through his star even more than the one from the 80s. It's a little bit too see-through. But anyway, his outfit, this guy's a little dusty, but that's not the reason his outfit looks lighter. It just, the colors are just lighter. They're not as saturated. And it's not a full rainbow. Sad face. And the order, let's see here. Yeah, these are out of order too. red, yellow, green, blue, orange, purple. No, that's not how the rainbow goes. Like, Rainbow 101, you guys. Got the color order right. They did not get it right in 2003, sadly. But his, like, tail is a brighter color. So there are some things I like about him. I'm not saying I dislike this doll altogether, clearly, or I wouldn't have it. Well, yeah, I probably still would, because I have to have one of everything. And, like, here, it's a brighter color. I like him, but he's not the one that I grew up liking. Also, this is something a visitor, a watcher, a follower, I don't know what to call you. I'm sorry. Someone who watched my last video where I was talking about the Puppy Brites noticed that their eyes are different, and they really are. This one is a little, what's the word? Taller, higher. It's more of an arch, whereas this one is less of an arch. So that's another easy giveaway as to if it's a vintage one or a newer one. But, okay, another interesting thing about the new one, and now I have to pull out my unique one again, it's based on this one as far as the face goes. Now the eyes are still different because all the vintage ones have the more, I don't know what to call that. The rounder eyes, it goes up more, like a rainbow, okay? We'll call these the rainbow eyes, and these are more like slits. He doesn't really look angry, he just doesn't look quite as happy. The ones from the 80s are more jolly. What was I gonna say? Hold on. Eyes. Right, face. That's what I was going for. The faces are the same. So that's super weird to me that this is the more rare vintage doll, but the face of the 2003 one was based on it. Like obviously they used the head mold, or made a reverse head mold, whatever, to make the new ones from this guy. Because I don't know if I could pull him up anymore. Maybe if I just hold him by the head. There we go. Yeah, you can see their mouths are the same. And yeah. Okay, so size-wise, where did I write it down? Here we go. I'm actually using this great little notebook, or journal, whatever they call it, from Zazzle. Like I said I would. I'm actually doing it for once. So, big face, hard face, whatever you want to call this guy. 8.2 centimeters from cheek to cheek. Like, measuring the widest part of his face. 8.2 centimeters. Well, let's just go straight to this one. Because, again, almost the same. But he is 8 centimeters. So there's a 0.2 centimeter difference between the 2003 one and my weird hard face vintage one. But then the small face, or more common vintage one, his face is only 7 centimeters. So there's 1.2 centimeter difference between the two vintage versions. Squishy face, hard face, big face, small face, whatever you want to call them. I don't know why. It's gonna bug me, because I'm probably never gonna know why. It's, again, probably just one of those, they started using a different material, so they made a change at the same factory, and whatever was cheaper at the time, that's what they used. But it's just weird that they would change the head mold, or face mold. Yeah. That's bizarre to me, because none of the sprites or color kids, even if they have squishy faces or hard faces, I don't think are larger or bigger. At least the heads. Like, some are a little bit longer. That's just a material thing. But yeah, it would require a completely different face mold to make one that has a smaller face and a different smile than the other one. It's super weird. Super weird. One of those mysteries we may never know the answer to. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out real quick, and then I think this will be the end of the Puppy Brite episode, video, whatever. Then I'll move on to something else. Let's see if this guy fits the bill. Yes, okay. So his rainbow starts over here from red and goes this direction, which is actually, like, backwards to me. Like, okay, when you're reading, you go from left to right, but his colors are going from right to left. So what I found in searching for, like, the perfect Puppy Brite, which I never found the perfect one, but I found one that's pretty close and bought it. So I'll do some more Puppy Brite comparisons once I get in the other ones I bought, because I went down the rabbit hole of what are all the differences with the Puppy Brites, and That's why I end up buying multiples of things, because I'm ridiculous. But anyway, I started noticing that the majority of them go the wrong direction. Wrong. I mean, it's a rainbow. It doesn't really matter which, you're not reading a rainbow. This isn't reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. But I would like for things to go in the correct order, left to right, like you would read something. But there are some out there that go in the correct order, or correct direction. So I think those are the ones I bought, or at least 2 of them. And then one was from Canada. I didn't have one from Canada, so I was like, I'll get that one and compare it to see if there's any differences with it too. But again, all 3 that I bought I think are the small face variety, because the hard face are really hard to find. Go figure. So I think that's it. But yeah, I really wanted one that was in the correct direction and that actually showed all the colors on the front. Like, this guy's actually really good. He's a reverse rainbow, I'll call him. Reverse rainbow small face variant. But you can see all the colors, red to pink, right there on the front. So he's actually a really good one. So huge thanks to the person who sent me this and the other dolls, which I will get to in a future video. So I think that's everything, but I really, really want you guys to check your Puppy Brites, because I know a lot of you who watch my videos are collectors yourself, and I would love to hear what variant you have. So small squishy face or large hard face, and then rainbow orders, go left to right or right to left. I would love to know. So put it in the comments, and we'll see if we can make any sense of these mysteries that I just found, and I'm just like, mind exploding! This happens a lot to me in the Rainbow Brite fandom. I don't know if this is the same with all fandoms, if there are this many variants to get confused over, but at least in Rainbow Brite there seem to be a lot, and I like to talk about them. So that should be everything, except I did want to mention, like I did in my other video, there is one other piece of Rainbow Brite merchandise that was Puppy Brite themed back in the 80s. This is from the American line of PVC figures, a little hard plastic Puppy Brite. It says Puppy Brite on his tummy. But yeah, he's from the American PVCs, because there are PVCs from other countries. There's some from the UK, some from Germany, and one in Australia. Super, super, super rare. But anyway, it's not Puppy Brite, it's a different character. But I just wanted to mention, there you go, more information about stuff. Pretty darn sure that was everything I wanted to say about Puppy Brite. I'm sorry, I know I went on total tangents, but I'm just really curious and kind of excited and happy about this, because I like mysteries surrounding Rainbow Brite. Even if I never solve them, I like them, and I like talking to you about them and seeing if I'm right. You know, if all of you have hard faces, I'm just going to say, oh, never mind, I was wrong. But I'm pretty certain, just judging from what I could find online, most of them are probably the small squishy face. Okay, that's it. I'm going to let you go on that note, and I'll come back soon with more videos on the other new products from Hallmark. Have a rainbow day. Bye.